Hello, and welcome back to English in Advance, the podcast that helps you get more confident and fluent in English every single day. I'm your host, Jennifer, and I am so happy you are here with me today. Make yourself comfortable and let's talk. Today, we will talk about something that is very important, something that might be stopping you from getting better at English. This can happen even if you have studied for many months or even years. The topic for today is the biggest mistakes that stop you from learning English. Before we start, I want you to know something. These mistakes are not bad things about you. They do not mean you are lazy or not smart enough to learn English. They are just common habits. Almost every English learner I have ever met has made these mistakes. But here's the most important thing. When you understand what these mistakes are, you can stop doing them. And when you do that, your English will start to get better, much faster. So please relax. I want you to listen with an open mind. This talk is about more than just grammar or words. It's about how you think. It's about your habits. It's about feeling confident. It's about your future. Let's take a deep breath together. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, let's begin. The first mistake is a very common one. It is waiting for the perfect time to learn. Have you ever said to yourself, I will start learning English more when I am not so busy at work? Or I will really practice speaking when I go on a trip to another country? I hear this all the time. People tell me, Jennifer, I know English is important, but right now my life is too full. Maybe next month, maybe next year. I always understand because life is busy. There is always something new to do, a new problem to fix, a new reason to wait. But here's the truth. The perfect time will never, ever come. You must stop waiting for a day that does not exist. Instead of waiting for 3 hours of free time, which you may never get, what if you just promised to do 10 minutes a day? That is enough. Just 10 minutes. That is enough to start a strong new habit. 10 minutes to listen to a short podcast, 10 minutes to say a few sentences you hear, 10 minutes to write down 3 new words. This small regular action is much, much better than waiting for a big, perfect moment that never happens. My question to you is, what small step can you take today right now? Now let's talk about the second mistake. This one might surprise you because it feels like the right thing to do. It's focusing too much on grammar. Now don't worry, I am not saying grammar is bad. Grammar is a tool. It's like a hammer. A hammer is very useful for building something. But a hammer is not the building itself, is it? The problem is that many learners make grammar the only thing they study. They try to remember every rule, every special case, every verb tense. They see grammar as a big wall they must climb before they can speak. And this is a mistake. I remember one student. His name was Arif. He was a very smart man. Arif knew grammar perfectly. He knew all the rules. But when it was time to speak, he was very quiet. He was so afraid to make a mistake. He would say, Jennifer, please wait. I must check in my mind if it is correct. This need to be perfect made him slow and scared to talk. The truth is, people who speak English all the time make grammar mistakes too. What makes a conversation good is not perfect grammar. It's confidence, being clear, and connecting with the other person. Grammar should help you speak, not stop you. So learn the main grammar rules, but then let it go. Move on and use what you know in real, messy conversations. This leads us to the next mistake, not listening enough. If I could give every English learner only one piece of advice, it would be this. Listen more. Listen every day. This is because listening is the most important part of speaking. Think about how babies learn their first language. They do not read or write or study grammar. Number. For many months, they just listen. They hear how the language sounds, the rhythm, the music of the language. Their brains start to understand the patterns, and only then do they start to speak. You can do the same. The more English you hear, the more your brain will see the patterns. Your pronunciation will get better naturally, and you will understand more quickly. One day, you will surprise yourself. You will start thinking in English without having to translate, but if you do not listen enough, speaking becomes much harder. You will only know textbook English, not the real fast English that people speak. And when you hear it, you might feel scared and say, I don't understand anything. But it's not your fault. Your ears have not been trained yet. So, make listening to English a part of your daily life. You are already doing it right now by listening to this podcast. You can also try simple audiobooks, English music, easy YouTube videos, or movies with subtitles. And a quick tip: do not just listen one time. Listen to the same thing again and again. Repetition is the most important part. Let's now talk about a very big mistake: the fear of making mistakes. I want to speak to you honestly right now. Maybe you are afraid to speak in English because you think people will laugh at you. Maybe you are worried you will sound silly. Maybe someone once corrected you in a bad way and now you feel small. I hear you. I have worked with hundreds of students who feel exactly like you. But here's what I tell them, and what I am telling you now. Your mistakes do not show how smart you are. They are just a part of how you grow. Think about it like this. A musician learning to play the piano does not play a perfect song on the first day. They play many wrong notes. But do we say they are a bad musician? Number. We say they are learning. We understand that wrong notes are a necessary part of the process. It is the same for you. The only way to get good at English is by making mistakes. Lots of them, so speak. Even if it is wrong. Especially if it is wrong, because every time you try and you fail, you learn something new. You can even use your mistakes to learn. When you notice a mistake, do not be angry with yourself. Be curious. Ask, why was that wrong? How can I say it better next time? And then move on. Do not let one mistake take away your joy or your confidence. Now let's talk about a mistake that many people make because it seems a little boring: not using repetition. I will be honest. Repetition is not a cool way to learn. It is not exciting. But it works. Repetition is one of the most powerful learning tools you can use. Your brain does not remember things the first time you hear them. It needs time. It needs to see and hear the same thing again and again. That is how your memory works. That is how a language becomes automatic for you. So, if you read a short story in English today, read it again tomorrow. If you listen to a podcast episode today, listen to it again next week. If you learn 5 new words today, try to use them every day for a week. Do not always look for new things. Go deep instead of wide. And here's a fun way to do this. You can repeat by listening with a different purpose each time. The first time for the main meaning. The second time for pronunciation. The third time for shadowing. That's when you copy what you hear right after you hear it. This simple method helps you practice speaking without a partner. Make repetition your friend, not your enemy. And speaking of speaking, let's add another mistake to the list. Not speaking enough. I know. Speaking can feel very scary, Maybe you do not have a partner to practice with. Maybe you feel shy. But here's the truth. If you want to speak English well, you must speak English often. And you can start small, right now, by yourself. Yes, by yourself. You do not need a teacher or a native speaker to start. You can talk to your mirror. Say what you are doing in English as you do it. Record yourself talking about your day and listen to it later. Say sentences from this podcast. You could even give yourself a simple task, like describing your coffee cup or your shoes in 3 full sentences. If you can find a speaking partner, that is great. If not, speak anyway, because the more you speak, the more confident you get. The more confident you get, the more you speak. It is a beautiful circle, but you have to be the one to start it. Just take a moment to think about that. I want you to close your eyes, unless you are driving, and take one deep breath in and out. Now say quietly to yourself, I can speak English. I am getting better every day. I am not afraid to make mistakes. Say it again and again. This is your reminder. You are doing better than you think. Now that you have taken that breath and remembered that you can do it, let's keep going. We still have more mistakes to talk about and, more importantly, how to fix them. Let's talk now about something that causes a lot of stress. The idea that fluency means perfect English. This idea stops so many people from using the English they already know. I want to be very honest with you. There is no such thing as perfect English. Not even native speakers speak perfect English. We make grammar mistakes. We forget words. We change our minds in the middle of a sentence. We use words like, and like. We do it all the time. So if you think fluency means speaking like a TV news reporter or an actor in a movie, please let go of that idea right now. Fluency does not mean perfect. It means flowing. It means you can say what you need to say, when you need to say it, without stopping to translate every single word. You do not need every word in the dictionary. You just need the right words for the moment. If you forget the word refrigerator, you can say, the cold box where we keep food. That is communication. That is fluency. And here is something even more important. Fluency does not mean fast. Some of the best speakers I know speak slowly. They pause, they think, they use simple sentences, and you know what? People understand them. They connect. That is the real goal. Next, let's look at another mistake that feels helpful but is not: trying to learn too many words at once. I understand why you want to do this. It feels good to look at a long list of new words and you think, if I learn all of these, I'll be fluent faster. But your brain just does not work like that. Imagine trying to eat an entire cake in one bite. You would choke. You would feel sick. Learning a language is the same. If you try to learn 50 words in a day, you will probably forget 48 of them tomorrow. But if you learn just 5 new words and you actually use them in sentences, say them out loud, and see them again over the next few days, you are much more likely to remember them forever. Learning words is not just about remembering a list, it's about making a connection. Can you connect that word to a real memory, a real situation, or a real sentence? Can you see it? Use it. Hear it in a conversation. That is how words move from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. It is much better to have a small box of words you can actually use than a huge library of words you only know from a book. Now I want to talk about something very new, something we did not have 20 years ago. And that is the problem of using too many resources. We live in a time of a lot of information. There are hundreds, maybe thousands, of apps, websites, YouTube channels, podcasts, books, and Instagram pages, all saying they will help you speak better English. And many of them are great. But here's the problem: too many choices can confuse you and stop you from making progress. You start watching one YouTube video, but then another one pops up. You download 3 apps and they all tell you to do different things. You start one grammar course but never finish it because you found a new one that looks better. This is what I call resource hopping. You jump from one thing to another, but you never go deep. And without going deep, you cannot build a strong base. So what should you do? Choose just a few things that you like and stick with them. For example, if you like this podcast, listen to a new episode every week. Listen to the old ones again. Use the sentences for shadowing. If you find a book you like, read it again. Finish it. It's always better to go deep with one thing than to touch 10 different things and finish nothing. Next, let's talk about a mistake that might seem invisible but affects everything: learning without a clear goal. This is like driving a car without a map or a destination. If you do not know why you are learning English, you will not know what to focus on. You will feel lost. You will feel like you are walking in a big forest without a path. So take a moment and think, what is your goal with English? Do you want to pass a test like IELTS? Do you want to get a job that needs English? Do you want to travel and feel confident talking to people? Do you want to watch movies without subtitles? Whatever it is, name it. Say it out loud. Write it down. Because your goal shows you the way. If your goal is speaking, then your study time should have a lot of listening and speaking. If your goal is writing, then practice writing short paragraphs and grammar rules. If your goal is understanding conversation, then focus on real spoken English, not English from a book. Having a goal is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly you can see where to go and the path becomes clear. And now, one of the biggest mistakes that stops learners: being inconsistent. I will say it clearly. Doing a little every day is more powerful than being smart, more powerful than being motivated, and even more powerful than being talented. You could be the smartest person in the world, but if you study English once a month, you will not get better. But if you practice a little every day, just 10 to 15 minutes, you will see great results over time. Why? Because language is like a muscle. You must train it often. If you stop for too long, you lose strength. But if you train a little every day, you become strong, flexible, and confident. So find your daily rhythm. Maybe you listen to this podcast on your walk. Maybe you write one sentence in English before bed. Maybe you speak out loud while you drink your morning coffee. Whatever it is, make it a part of your life. Learning English is not just something you do, it becomes something you live. Finally, before we end, I want to talk about one last mistake: translating everything in your head. This is very normal, especially for new learners. You think in your own language, then you translate it into English, and then you speak. But this makes you slow, and sometimes it makes your sentences sound strange or incorrect. Your goal should be to think directly in English. I know it sounds hard, but you can start small. Start with simple words and sentences. When you look at your watch, think, "It's 9 o'clock." When you drink water, think, "I'm drinking water." When you feel tired, think, "I'm tired today." These small thoughts will become a habit. And slowly, your brain will stop using your own language as a middle step. You will start to think and then speak naturally. You can also help your brain think in English by being around the language. Put labels on things in your home with sticky notes. Use English on your phone and computer. Change your social media settings. Watch shows in English. Read simple books. The more English you see, hear, and use, the more your brain will accept it as normal. And one day you will realize you are not translating anymore, you are just thinking in English, and it feels easy. Let me now quickly summarize everything we have talked about. This journey is not just about hearing words, it's about feeling them, owning them, living them. You have learned that waiting for the perfect time is a lie. That grammar is useful, but it's not the most important thing. That listening every day will change your brain. That being afraid of mistakes is normal, but you are stronger than your fear. That repetition is the key to remembering. That speaking every day, even alone, will make you more confident. That fluency does not mean perfect. That slow and simple English is still fluent. That learning too many words too fast will only confuse you. That using too many things to learn will distract you. That having no goal is like walking with no direction. That not being consistent will stop you from making progress. And that translating everything in your head will keep you stuck. But here's what else I want you to remember. You are not alone. There are millions of learners all over the world just like you, working, trying, doubting, getting better. And here on English in Advance, we are a family, a community, a place where you can learn and grow without fear. So take that first small step or the next small step. Maybe it's listening to this episode again tomorrow. Maybe it's speaking one sentence out loud. Maybe it's writing down your English goal. Whatever it is, do it. And then keep doing it. Because the secret is not talent. It's not being smart. It's not money or luck. The secret is showing up every day with an open heart, with a ready mind, with your voice, even if it shakes. I believe in you. I believe in your voice. And I believe that your English will get better, not because you are perfect, but because you are persistent. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope this episode helped you understand more clearly what might be holding you back and how you can move forward. If it helped you or made you feel better, please think about sharing this episode with a friend. Help them grow too. That's how we support each other. And don't forget to subscribe to English in Advance wherever you get your podcasts. There's so much more to come. More practice, more conversation, more progress. We're just getting started. Until next time, I'm Jennifer, and I'll leave you with this thought. You don't need perfect English. You need your English, so speak it, use it, live it, and keep advancing.